Hey, this is Michael Lindsay, and we're out here testing the Yoshimura RS-4 full exhaust system on the 2019 Yamaha YZ450F. As probably most of you are aware, the Yamaha is a big powerhouse down at the bottom end range with big torque numbers and an overall exciting hit. From there though, compared to some of its competitors, it's a little bit weaker in the mid to top range. It's definitely a bike that's easy to short shift, but it's missing that broad overall power that it needs to be at the top of the class. Now this is where I was really impressed with the RS4. It's really hard to make big noticeable gains these days against some of the stock exhaust systems, but they did a really good job from that in mid to top. Starting though at the initial, it's really hard to beat that Yamaha, and what I felt like they did is just a little bit more of a consistent pull. The stock bike hits, tapers for just a second and continues to pull. With the Yoshimura, I noticed that hit and it stays progressive and it starts to really pull away from the stock bike after about 6,000 RPM and keeps that all the way to the rev limiter. It makes it a lot easier to pull each gear longer in the tight sections, and even if you want a short shift, there's a lot more mid-range available. As for the installation, it's going to take a little bit of a longer time. That just happens with the YZ450 due to the layout, the way it wraps around the bike, and the tight confines that Yamaha has designed it in. Unless you have a really long extension with a swivel head, if you do have one of those, you can access from behind the shock a little bit, but otherwise, what most of us will probably prefer doing is just pulling both the engine mounts off. It gives you much easier access to the 3 head stay bolts to switch out that head pipe. From there, the rest of the installation is pretty straightforward, and the Yoshimura system is rubber mounted on both the mid pipe and the exhaust mount on the bike to keep it from affecting any of the rigidity against the subframe. As with all of Yoshimura's motocross product, it does have a 1-year warranty against the structure or any defects in the pipe itself. If for any reason you crash and damage it, or you just put a lot of time on the pipe, they have a full refurb program. They can repack this thing, switch out any of your grommets, the carbon end cap, just anything that could end up being damaged, because in the end, they really want you to have this pipe on the bike as long as possible.